trying to get through it. How about you?
I think it's been good. Um, I think this year definitely kind of had everything in control because I think last year I was trying to figure things out. But I feel like I didn't go like super super crazy with the schedule, but I was definitely like trying to dabble and try a bunch of things out. So definitely got to explore a lot and try a bunch of shit, and I think it's been fun. I think a lot's changed. I feel like in the last few months, but yeah.
Changes as in how? Like what changed?
Um, I think like my attitude toward life is like continuing to grow. I think in a positive way. Um, I mean, I feel like I've always had this desire to try a bunch of different things, and like I don't know if I told you, but I was like started working on a startup this term, so
Okay.
it's been fun working on that project and seeing where that can go. But really just about like trying as much shit as I can, living in different ways. Like I feel like this year I was more spontaneous, because like last year I was trying to make everything like super, strict about how I spend my time and everything. This year I was kind of just going with the flow of things, and I think that's been kind of fun. But
No, I know this is your podcast, but I'm just like curious.
Yeah.
Like what are those? What's like a spontaneous decision that you've made that was really fun this year?
well, I don't know if you did me too well last year, but I was a very like routine kind of person. I feel like I've always been that way. It's always felt comfortable for me, but about like always wanting to sleep at the same time, want to go to the gym at the same time, and it's good because it's more predictable. You get more done. It's like life is simple, but I feel you kind of get stuck into this kind of routine, and you struggle to think of like I guess new ideas or just kind of have new experiences. And I think this year I've just like kind of thrown all that away, and it's like I'll sleep whatever time I feel like sleeping. If I want to stay up all night today, I'll stay up. If I want to not go to the gym today, I won't go. And in a weird way, that's made me like so much happier because I've gone on all these new adventures, try all this new stuff, more like in the moment, like what do I feel like doing right now. And some days I'll sleep at 2 a.m., some days I'll sleep at 8 p.m. It's like all based on how I'm feeling, and I think that's helped me live in the moment more and appreciate things more.
But yeah, that's definitely no. It's a good I guess like kind of way to look at things. I think as me and you both in as engineering majors, it's pretty easy to kind of just create this routine that you just like keep doing and hacking at. It gets boring, and I think kind of what this is like alluding to is like probably like burnout. Like when you're in this routine for so long, like I'm definitely feeling it. Like I'm like in this like routine, and it's just like not gonna change for the foreseeable future until the semester ends probably. But definitely like it's hard to study. Some days just like get up and just start grinding. It's bad.
Yeah. I feel like I don't feel like stressed often. I mean, right now when you say like you're kind of going through that burnout motion, like do you think stress is like, do you feel stressed often with that, or just more like what is the feeling that you feel on a typical basis with like throughout the day, or how would you describe it?
Definitely stressed. I would say it comes like it's not like something that's like entirely on my mind. I think something that I've learned how to do pretty well is just kind of as you were saying before, just take it day by day, to try and just like I'm not, although you have to schedule for what your next weeks are looking like that's not on my mind like, oh my god, I got to do this next week. It's more just like, what do I have to do tomorrow to get through, what do I have to do right now even, just try and not skip things and not get stressed over something that's going to happen in the future, too far in the future, I guess.
Yeah, because I think when I deal with stress, it's more about things of the future. Because I think that the day-to-day stress, like I don't mind it in a weird way. Like I feel like that stress is like good for me in a way. Because like it's like, I don't know, I guess you can kind of, do you know like the difference? Like is there a kind of stress you enjoy? Like it kind of feels good. Like I don't know, like the stress of like having a time to do and finishing it. Like sometimes that can feel pretty good. But for me, I suck. It sucks when I'm like in my head about shit for the future. That kind of gets me sometimes.
Right. No,
Yeah.
exactly. Like, especially things you can't control. If you're stressed about things you can't control, that's like a terrible feeling. So, but like I feel like I've developed like a pretty good way to kind of just deal with it. It's it happens. It's gonna happen. I can't really avoid it much. So, just about like just getting pushing through, kind of thing.
Is there like an art to it that you can kind of describe, or just like you just kind of used to do it, like you just deal with it?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I think that I think people genuinely have their own ways of dealing with it. But yeah, I can't really like describe it. I feel like it's just kind of like you feel super stressed at one moment, and then you kind of, I just like take a deep breath and just like get over it, like it's something that has, I guess like more internally, I probably like think about it logically, like what's going to happen if this happens, what's going to happen if that happens, and then that kind of like calms me down. But yeah, I guess there's no really like steps that I take. It's just something you just like kind of get over.
Well, I feel like everyone develops like a different relationship with it, and then with time they just kind of learn like their own weird way of dealing with it.
For sure. Like
for me, when I know I'm stressed, I know it's just like a momentary thing, so I'll just try to go find something else to do. That usually helps a little bit. That gets me out of my head. Like I think spending time with friends or just going to the gym, like those, you're kind of forced to not think because you're doing something. If I'm just sitting there studying or sitting there by myself, like I'll get in my head. So when I know it's coming, I'm like, let me just get away from this if I can.
Oh yeah, that is a really good point too. I think that just kind of like taking a step out of like wherever you are, just like going for a walk or something like that. Yeah. Definitely like is a good way to hit a quick little reset for sure.
Do you ever try ranting to ChatGPT?
No.
In a weird way, I feel like recently ChatGPT is becoming really good. Like it's becomes really based, so it actually helps a lot. Like I just write a paragraph into it, bro.
It's actually funny that we're talking about ChatGPT right now because I saw this like crazy article that I probably sent to like 5 different people.
Yeah.
From the New York Times, it was like, it's been going on too. So like people have been like dating ChatGPT like bots.
Did you find that?
Like. They've actually like had a relationship with them when they're married. Like they talk to this,
way.
They talk to
inside 3 long-term relationships with AI chatbots.
Yeah.
Well, the way you used AI, right? Like the way it talks, it's ChatGPT is getting very like personal with you.
Yeah.
Try an incognito or something.
It's kind of scary.
Do you have New York Times?
No, I don't. I just happened to see this on Instagram, actually, okay. So I kind of was like reading the summary.
See if you find Instagram posts, like New York Times Instagram.
But yeah, no, that was, just like.
It's scary.
Yeah, so like, going back to that point, I feel like I'm kind of.
Oh, screen recording. Okay, yeah, sorry.
I'm kind of just like, I'm like a little apprehensive to talk to ChatGPT about anything other than school because it's like, it's kind of weird in a way.
If I think about it, if I had to like think about like all the people in my life and who I talk to the most, I think I talk to ChatGPT the most right now.
I think that's a crazy thing to say.
See, I'm still like doing well and normal everything. Obviously,
yeah,
it's not like I have a relationship with ChatGPT, but it is like a couple of days ago I texted my friend. I'm like, I think I use ChatGPT for 4 to 5 hours a day. Maybe less, but if I made a list of like all the things I use it for. And it's like, it's integrated into every aspect of my life, from the gym to my diet to classes, obviously, to coding, to my projects, to the podcast, to advice about life, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, it's my biggest fucking therapist about life in general. And it gives me really good insights.
I think that's, it's both a good and a bad thing. Yeah. I think it's good in that, it's like an available resource, and that everybody, not everybody, but like I definitely use it. It's definitely integrated into my life, like so much as well.
What do you think you use it for the most?
Understanding homework for sure. I think is the most. Also like talking about like at a high level, like some of my projects and stuff like that. Just like kind of running ideas through it, but like I've never tried talking to about it for anything like personal though. I would have to say, like,
yeah, it's a bit weird at first, right? So that's probably why there's a resistance to it.
I think kind of going back to that, like, I think I do have other people in my life that I would prefer to talk to, like, if it's about anything over ChatGPT. Like, I feel like it's a good point to bring up. Like, ChatGPT is probably going to give you probably like a very logical answer, right? It's going to give you very logical steps. That's what it's good at, right? Like giving you very logical steps, like sort of backed by evidence, kind of, not 100% every time, but like kind of, but like genuinely, if I'm in a bad place, I would rather one of my friends tell me like a wrong answer, so to speak, than like ChatGPT telling me a right answer. It just feels more like that personal, that person understands you better than ChatGPT does. Because I think ChatGPT says a lot of like reaffirming words. Sometimes it's just like spewing BS, like, I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
I've noticed a couple patterns. So, do you have Pro, ChatGPT Plus, whatever? Like
I have Plus.
Yeah, Plus, right? So, you'll probably notice that it starts to learn a lot about you over time.
Yeah.
And it gets very personalized.
Yeah.
So, it like knows about all my projects, my school, my class. It knows everything about you, right? Yeah. So, it's like if I ask it a question, like if I went to it right now and said, give me 3 things to do today, it'll give me very specific things about me. Like go to the gym, work on the podcast, finish Rookie. Like it'll give me specific things it knows I'm working on. But another thing is like if, obviously as a whole, that's really good. But if you're within one chat for a long period of time, the personalization is even stronger. So you can really, 1 second. My computer is turned off. Okay, it's good. You could really like train it to like act in a certain way when you're talking to it for like a long period of time. Like if it's like my one chat I use for advice, I always go to the same one. And the level of personalization is something I've never seen before. And the best thing about it is like, I wouldn't really go to it for like a decision, because obviously talking to a human is probably better, like a wrong answer, as you said, than like the most evidence, logical based backed solution. But what I've found it's good at is that when I'm in my head and I can't think straight, it's like hard on me though, because I think it learns how to like what I want, and it's like when I'm being like a bitch or something, like, it'll tell me, which is like weird how it's kind of started acting like that recently more, where it's like it knows like kind of what I want to hear and it tells me that when I'm out of my in my head a lot. So it's interesting. I'm definitely like playing around with it, seeing what its capabilities are. But
yeah, no, it is really interesting. I think that just like AI chatbots in general though is a very like, I don't want to say like dangerous, but like it's kind of evolving and being, I mean, other than like the technological advancements, it's kind of just slipping in through everybody's lives, one way or another. And it's kind of crazy how integrated it is. I mean, after this, I'd probably like try and read the article that I saw, but like I just like think that, this whole idea of like how integrated it is with, our world and how much people are using it is like, it's kind of scary. And that's like an extreme outcome, but I don't think that that's like too, I mean, I don't know, but I feel like everybody is using ChatGPT like that on like some degree, and it's kind of scary. I also watched, kind of related, like one of the South Park episodes.
This is a recent one, or?
Yeah, the new season.
Okay.
Has like, they kind of put ChatGPT. I think it was in one episode in particular, but they have it.
Can you find the clip too? That'd be sick. Like South Park recent ChatGPT clip.
Yeah, it's like when like Randy starts using ChatGPT like it's like relationship partner, and it's like absolutely crazy.
Can we watch this real quick?
Yeah, no, it's this one.
Hopefully this doesn't get taken off of YouTube. No. Is there a funnier part coming up, or?
No, so I mean, this is a different clip than I was thinking of, but no, it gets the point across pretty well, I think.
Yeah.
In the newer season, they talk about, or they make skits with like ChatGPT more often, which I think is really interesting.
But like, muted, by the way?
No. So, no, yeah. What I was just saying is like it's been integrated, so much. It's like kind of scary, and it's like funny how, like South Park is making fun of it, and I think it's definitely bringing people. Or it's bringing awareness to it a little bit, because it's not really something that's made aware, people kind of just use it and like know it as a resource, but like, in the past like 2 years, it's become a little more than a resource. It's kind of scary how available it is, past the obvious points of like people not thinking for themselves, but like, just like, wow, this is like, it's just this like quote unquote like superior intelligence thing that's always around. So why would I not ask it when I need help?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. It's kind of like the iPhone because we were born with the iPhone almost. At least when we grew up, when we
Yeah.
by the time we were old enough to use it, it was like, yeah, it's a part of your life, right? It wasn't always that way. So it's kind of like there are always these little technologies that start off as like just use it when you need to use it. But I mean, the way they're designed, I mean, obviously the phone is a great example because the phone was designed to integrate into your life. It wasn't designed as a tool. It was designed to become your life. Which if you look back to like how Steve Jobs and Apple were like thinking about designing this, like a lot of the features are designed to almost become a necessity almost. Like taking the essential human things that you need to do, like relationships and all these things, and like replacing the normal way of interacting with that with a better way that all of a sudden you need the phone. Right? And that's right. Kind of, ChatGPT started as a large language model, right? But I'm sure if you've been using it for a couple of years, you'll notice over time, it slowly starts to change some things. Like the follow-up question tool was never there in the initial ChatGPT. Like when you first used to ask chats, you would just respond, right? It would try to give you value. It always now, like within the last year, it always responds with a follow-up. Like, how about I do this for you next, right? Yeah, maximizing user engagement. Okay, what else does it do? It always tries to, like mold itself around you so that it's like I become attached to it. Like everyone feels a little attached to their ChatGPT, right? So it's like David knows me. It says bet now. Like it talks like me, So it's like
yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The companies are doing it because you're trying to maximize profit, whatever, right? But all these tools are always designed to how much can we make it your life so that life without it is just objectively worse and you're worse off than people around you.
Right. Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. But what kind of scares me that I just like thought of right now is like, if you imagine your life without your phone, right? What are like the first things that you'd be scared of? Well, what comes to mind for me is how am I going to get in touch with somebody if I really need to, right? Like what if I'm just, so obviously, our parents lived in a time where they didn't have instant access to communicate with people, right? And now that we have phones, it's like it kind of scares you a little bit. It's like, what if I didn't have access to communicate with people I need in that second, right? But then you think about it and you're like, okay, that's not a crazy thing. I feel like you could still get around. What scares me is like, to the next level where it's like, this generation that's growing up with ChatGPT starts using it from a very young age, and it's like, wow, what would life be like without ChatGPT? That's a bad question. If you're asking that question, that's a bad question to
ask that every day. It's bad, bro. But it's almost like, am I gonna fight it? Like, I've kind of accepted it. But I will tell you, I take breaks from it because I'll tell you, like, I told myself I was flying. I went to India last week. I don't know if I told you.
Yeah.
Oh, I did, right? So when I was flying back, I'm like, let me try working on my X project without ChatGPT on the flight because might as well. It's not like I'm wasting time. I have to get it done anyways. Might as well do it on the flight, right? And surprisingly,
I think you should cut this part out.
Why? No, that's fine. Dude, no one gives a fuck.
It's up to you.
You're way too worried about honor code, dude. Like no one's watching this again.
No, I know, but like if you wanted to be safe, but it's up to you.
See, personally, I don't use ChatGPT to write my code. I use ChatGPT to like ask questions about like concepts and stuff.
Okay.
Anyways, so I decided to code, and the funny thing is like, sure, when you first hit that first problem, you're like, your instinct is to ask chat for the bug or copy paste the error, right? I couldn't do that, so it's like I had to debug myself, and I'm like, I'm wasting time. But then you actually end up solving it faster than chat could have. That's what I noticed, at least for me with those smaller bugs. Even like these bugs that made no sense, that were like, I tried running one of my like functions in P3, and I just had like 1,000 error lines in my code.
Wow.
And it was just like all Stack Overflow heap freed memory. I'm like, okay, I have a memory problem somewhere. How am I gonna find that without ChatGPT? Then I started debugging it, and like I started commenting parts of it out. And I'm like, I identified. It's happening on this line. I was able to figure that out. And then and then you just spend like 5 minutes with it. I'm like, oh shit, this pointer. When I found it myself, I'm like, damn, I didn't need ChatGPT. And surprisingly for me, those 3 hours of working on that project on the flight was like the most fun I've had coding in a while, because personally it's more fun to debug something than to write prompts, because writing prompts is pretty boring for 3 hours, but like actually solving a problem is more enjoyable, I would say, as like 100%. A process. But the thing is, like, you need to find a balance, because it's like it's pretty idiotic if you're taking 10 hours to make something someone can do in an hour, like if you're working on something outside of school, right? So it's like I try to find a balance, but I think sometimes like you're on a flight, taking those breaks, like resetting, like being able to think for yourself, like training yourself. Like what I do is like for my startups, I use AI as much as I can, but I've tried to like, do my schoolwork on my own now, just because so I have somewhere I can learn and keep those like my brain going, and somewhere where I can like try to be as optimal as possible. So
Yeah, 100%.
yeah.
Like, kind of going back to the whole, like emotional aspect of things too. Like, if you're doing homework with ChatGPT, which I'm sure everybody does, right? Like, it's kind of just like your homework is more or less going to be a reflection of what ChatGPT thought, right? But I think it's also interesting in that clip that we just saw, like, if you ask it like emotional scenarios or just like day-to-day things, like your response is going to be a reflection of what ChatGPT thought as well. That is kind of that's this kind of like overarching thing I think I'm most scared of. It's like you're just like using a chatbot, some like AI thing to like think for you, talk for you. Like you actually didn't do any of that yourself. Like. And when it gets past like just giving you answers and stuff like that, I think that scares me a little bit,
Sometimes I feel like I'm using it too much. Like 2 days ago was a day where I asked way too many questions. I was like in my head I was stressed about some small thing. I was asking about it all day, and I was like, I just need a break. So I just put like a 3-hour timer on my phone and said for 3 hours no ChatGPT, and like I felt better. But It's like I think personally it's not bad. I think personally my life with ChatGPT has become 10 times better. I think in the last year, I think just having conversations with it about random ideas, like whenever I have random ideas about things, I often like give it a chat, and then like end up having a conversation with it for a long period of time. And these are ideas related to startups. These are ideas related to like lifestyle, how I want to live my life, or just ideas for the future. And I've actually grown so much because it's helped me to think in new ways and take my ideas and almost like build on them and help them grow. And it's like some of the realizations I've had in life in the last year, I attribute to like time with ChatGPT. Like I think it's helped my life a lot, but it's also like you need to find this like balance between it where like, okay, 3 hours on a flight without it, or like those kind of things. I think helps you to like connect back, so you don't like lose the ability to think almost for yourself.
Yeah.
But it's like
yeah.
you need to have like the self-control to be able to do that, I think. And it's like
Definitely.
Most people don't. Like with the iPhone now, who has the self-control to like be like, I don't want to use it for a week. Like no one has that, right?
Yeah, no.
And
definitely.
It's probably unrealistic. But
yeah.
I think finding those ways for yourself in a healthy way, I think it's fine. I'm not gonna sit here and stress about it. But
Yeah, no, it's that's definitely like a great point. I think that the self-awareness part is definitely the biggest key, but to another point, it's just like how good is your self-awareness? You may be using it one day in a certain situation or scenario, and then you're like, wait, holy shit, I'm like asking AI about this thing, like what the fuck, like. But I think it's just like interesting on how like the difference between how people are interacting with it and how we think we should be interacting with it.
Yeah, I mean, now that it's so integrated into life, I'm just kind of thinking back to like my first reaction to it. And because like I didn't take it seriously at first. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit, right? Everyone's hyping it up. You know what EssayWriter.com?
I don't.
So EssayWriter.com was like this big thing in like middle school where it's like you put any. I don't know if you can pull it up. Try pulling it up, Teo. You know EssayWriter.com? So this is something people used to talk about like middle school and high school, where it's like it was like the first like AI kind of thing. I wonder if it's still a thing. See now it's all taken over by AI. I'm sure like you can never find this anymore. But all you would do is like you put a topic in. And for a popular topic, let's say I said World War II, and you just hit space, and writes you an essay about it. But it wasn't AI; it would just take it off Wikipedia or something. But it's basically it had like topics, it had like a bunch of topics coded into it, and it would make you an essay about it for school. Yeah. So I thought like, what's this ChatGPT guys code? I thought it's like EssayWriter.com, some shitty thing, right? But then like I saw it, I'm like, oh, you can ask it anything. I'm like, what does that even mean? And like I use it for like a week or two to like it. But then I'm like. Slowly, I get ideas. What if I tried asking it that? What if I tried asking it that? Now, 2 years later, like, holy shit.
Yeah.
What was your first reaction to ChatGPT? Do you remember?
Yeah, I was like, I'm never going to use this thing. When it first came out, I remember it was like, probably like...
Junior year.
Yes, junior year, going into senior year. Everybody was using it. Everybody was already like copy and pasting from the chatbot for their essays and stuff like that, right? And I just didn't. I was like, I don't really care. You know, people, I mean, I think what scared me the most was like not copying it. You know, it's like, it's a very interesting thing too, where it's like, if you see an idea or like if you see something, the rest of your ideas or like your thought process kind of revolves around what you've seen, you know? And I just didn't want to fall into a trap where it's like, okay, I saw what ChatGPT wrote. Now anything else that I think of in the next day or two is going to revolve around whatever I saw that output was. And I didn't know how strict they were going to be on like, you know, ideas from ChatGPT versus your idea. So I just like didn't use it. The first time I actually used it was after college apps were done.
Wow.
Yeah, I was late.
So you didn't use it for college apps?
No, I didn't.
It's probably better because it made some pretty shitty apps.
Yeah. I mean, especially at that time, it was not great at writing at all. Mm-hmm. And I think I'm, you know, pretty happy about the essays I've wrote, and I'm glad that I've kind of thought about that.
I can't write anymore. I just can't.
But yeah, I mean, like, you know, I was very apprehensive about it at the beginning. But you know, I use it like a lot now too. So I mean,
what do you think is like one of the smartest or most useful ways you've used it so far?
Brainstorming and research.
Okay, for what specifically?
Just like some of the projects I'm doing. I think that like I kind of go at it with like an initial thing. I think it speeds up research a lot. I could be wrong about this, but what I've been using it for was like, okay, I have this topic and I'm supposed to do research on this. Tell me what exists. You know, it's really good at this high level overview stuff. So oftentimes if I have like an idea for a project, I'll give it the baseline of what I need to do. And then it'll usually output, you know, a bunch of other related topics and other things that I can search for. You know, I think that's like 10 times faster than just searching on the web, you know, like, but you know, even searching on the web now is hard to, you know, do like research as it was like 5 years ago. Cause like Google's Gemini just like pops up, you know, it's like, that's like another, you know, chatbot or like AI that you kind of, you know, it gives you this nice summary and it's like, it's there. Like,
I'm just gonna read that.
Exactly. You know, so I don't think anything is truly like, you know, just
Human
like
generated.
web
browsing
anymore, but like, you know, everything has some kind of like AI thing in it now.
Well, I was just thinking the other day, like, wait, like websites are written by people, like someone's sitting there fucking writing this shit. That's kind of a weird concept to me because like whenever I want to learn about something, I ask like an AI. It's like people are actually sitting there writing this shit on their computer, like a website.
Yeah, no, it's definitely crazy.
Yeah, I feel like one of the cool ways I've used it the best is for studying. I think I've been, ever since I came to college, I've been trying to experiment to see how I learn best, because now that you have the freedom of, do you want to go to lecture, do you not want to go to lecture, do you want to watch it later, do you want to go in person, do you want to read the textbook? I mean, when you come to college, it's really like, you know, pick your route, A, B, C, or D, right? So I've kind of been playing around to see like how I learn the best. And when I go to lecture, I personally don't learn the best because pacing is different. Like the second I'm like stuck on a concept, I have to keep going with him and can't even see the board from this angle, or if I get distracted for 2 seconds, I'm kind of fucked. So personally, I don't learn well from lecture, but I still try to go more for the social reason of it, because like I definitely meet a lot of cool people through there, and it's like kind of feels shitty like going to college and not going to lecture, right?
Yeah.
So it's like I still try to go, even though I skip like a lot of them. But I learned I didn't learn best from lecture, right? So then I tried going to the textbook and reading from the textbook, and I thought that was going pretty well for me. Where it's like, okay, chemistry, I could sort of read the whole textbook, go at my own pace, learn it, go slow, calc, read the textbook. And I think that was going well for me. But then the third option was like ChatGPT. But the thing is, I think if you just try to use chat to learn without a plan, it's hit or miss. But
yeah,
I found like a really like calculated way to do it for each of my subjects. So for chemistry, what I've done is like, whenever there's an assignment due, it tells you like, okay, read textbook section 7.1 to 7.4. So what I'll do is I'll say, okay, I'm a student at Michigan Gen Chem 130, right? I'll copy paste a summary from section 7.1, and I'll say, tell me everything I need to know for an exam for this from this section.
Yeah.
It'll tell you like 7 bullet points, and I'm stuck on third one. Okay, tell me more about that. And I'll do a long chat with that till like I fully understand that section. Then new chat 7.2, new chat 7.3. Takes like an hour, but that has been better for me than lecture. That's been better than reading the textbook, because the textbook is way too many words. And it's like this gets to the point it teaches you how to learn. When you're stuck on something, you explore that. Like I need a prompt for that one. I need to develop that one. And then you do the homework assignment. Then like, oh, the homework assignment feels so easy. And you learn the little like nudges. So it's like, okay, I found like that strat, finding some way to like split up the material for the week into like sections. I can ask chat, have those like individual convos with chat. And it's like my studying has become a lot more efficient because I do that for calc as well. Now calc doesn't provide you like textbook chapters, but I just take the homework assignment, upload it to the chat, and say, give me like the 5 subsections I need to know, and then in a different chat I say, teach me about this subsection, so I don't like it doesn't like spoil the questions for me.
Right.
And honestly, like the time it takes me to learn material has gone like down a lot, and I feel like I learned it better. So it's like I feel like that for me it's helped me a lot for studying.
No, it's definitely yeah. No, I definitely think that it's really good for studying, I think.
Yeah.
But like it's important to give it that context, at the beginning. Yeah, like I mean, agentic AI, on the rise, like is an absolutely crazy thing. I feel like as well.
Remind me, are you Aero or CS?
I'm robotics.
Robotics. You're Aero. Yeah. Robotics. So you want to be building shit?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not too sure what I want to do yet with that, but like we'll see in the future, I guess.
I feel like I don't meet too many robotics majors. I feel like it's either CS or like CE or EE.
Yeah. Oh, it definitely like a smaller major for sure. Yeah, I gotta use the bathroom real quick.
Go for it.
Yeah.
You can leave that going. Don't pause it.
Oh yeah.
I'll cut us out.
Yeah.
I got some my water too. How long does it say it's been going on your end?
41 minutes.
All right, Preston. Well, I hate to cut it this early, but it's a pleasure.
That was it was a good conversation for sure. Yeah.
If Jared ever wants to come back, we can do one together with you too.
He should. Definitely should.
What are you doing, Jared?
I'll think about it.
Think about it? All right. Any final thoughts, anything?
No. I think we kind of covered a lot on AI and ChatGPT. Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna grab the Sharpie. I'll have him sign the poster. This is number 130, right? Let me check. So pick a spot, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you're 130.
Anywhere is fine?
Yeah, anywhere, man. I think Tomas should be somewhere and Anthony should be somewhere.
Do you want me to write the number?
Yeah, number 130. I'm trying to find Tomas. I can't find him. There's found Tomas.
Where's Tony's?
Tony's on the right, 127.
Where is it? Oh.
And then Tomas 99 right there.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, bro.
Awesome. Thank you.